Welcome back, and today I'm going to be doing What If Naruto Was a Prodigy? And I know that I promised to do What If Naruto was a yokai and other what ifs like that, but, you know, with the Persona 5 what if thing, I kind of gave up on doing that. If you guys really want me to do that what if, just, leave it down in the comments below. And yeah, also, in the comments below, I thought of an idea of what if Kuruma fused with Naruto. And basically, it is what if Naruto look like Kuruma, but I'm gonna call it what if Naruto fused. What if Kuruma fused with Naruto? If you if you want me to do that what if as well, then leave it down in the comments below. And I'm probably gonna put a post in my community tab. You guys gotta watch out for that. But with that out of the way, on to the intro. Okay, so basically, to start this what if off, we're gonna say that Naruto is, really smart. When I mean really smart, he's more or less, he's a little above Shikamaru's level of intelligence. So, wait, no, scratch that. He is smarter than Shikamaru. And, basically, he also has great chakra control on top of that. And, yeah, that's what we're gonna give him right now. Basically, we're gonna say that Naruto, he doesn't try hard, and he pulls pranks because he wants attention, and he doesn't really train hard, because if he trained hard, he probably would have been amazingly strong. So he doesn't train as much as he needs to become strong. So he pulls pranks and stuff like that, and never pays attention in class, even though he's super smart, and doesn't try at anything. So third Hokage, knowing that Naruto could probably be like a prodigy like Minato if Naruto actually tried. So he basically goes to Naruto's apartment, and he basically gives a scroll to Naruto along with his rent money. And at this point, we're gonna say that Naruto is already in the academy, and he's, let's say, 7 years old. So basically, at this point, I think Naruto already failed the academy once. Yeah, he failed the academy for the first time at this point, and this is the main reason it is the main reason why Hiruzen came to give Naruto a school. In this school, there are, like basically techniques like, walking on trees, walking on like walls and stuff like that. And it teaches Naruto chakra control. And Hiruzen basically says, Naruto, I know you could be a powerful shinobi if you tried. So I came to give you a scroll so you could become an amazing shinobi. You did say you wanted to become Hokage, right? As Naruto looked at Hiruzen and said, I guess I could read these scrolls if you really want me to, Naruto said. As Hiruzen said, thanks, Naruto. Learn everything from the scroll, and talk to me when you're done. All right. Like Hiruzen says, as Naruto says, yes, I'll be Hokage. I have to back my confidence up with training. Naruto says. Hiruzen says, that's the spirit. As he puts the scroll down, gives Naruto the rent money, and left. Naruto, with a passion, he started to get to work. There was, he had like a gift of chakra control, so he got most of the stuff in the school down easily with walking on water, walking on walls, and stuff like that. And there was this one technique which he had to cover a specific part of his body in chakra. Naruto found it fascinating. Covering my body in chakra, that might seem useful. I might as well just master this technique too. As Naruto then just, because he had perfect chakra control, he managed to do it pretty easily in the first couple of, let's say that it took 5 days or so to master all these techniques, because he spent like each day doing these techniques. And for the chakra one, for like the chakra with limbs, like specific body parts, it kind of took 2 days. So after Naruto was done, like he kind of went to the library, and he had a thirst for knowledge and a thirst for power as well. If I train hard, they'll be forced to acknowledge me. I'll make them acknowledge me, Naruto was thinking. So he went to the library almost every day to learn about powerful ninjutsus. And he basically gives Samson back to school saying that he completed it, and he was almost surprised. I guess I was right. You turned out to be a prodigy just like Minato was. The third Hokage. Hiruzen thought, as he basically gave Naruto another scroll. Gave Naruto another scroll, and he told Naruto to complete this one too, and learn everything in the scroll. Naruto got a little excited as he looked in the contents inside the scroll. He saw tons of ninjutsus and stuff like that. But before Naruto left, he asked Hiruzen to, give him, to check his chakra control, as he also read about chakra controls and stuff like that in the library. Naruto found out that his chakra control would be wind, lightning, and fire. His role with it. And basically, Naruto, after finding out his, chakra nature, he would get a little excited thinking about how he could do combinations of his chakra natures and make jutsu, stuff like that. As he thanked the third Hokage and left, he then started learning and learning. And in the school, there was, ninjutsus, like the body flicker. And the body flicker, basically, the ninjutsu that enhances the movement of somebody. Naruto basically mastered that, as it took a couple of, let's say it took 3 days to master the body flicker. As he went and saw the other contents of the school, it's basically said the fire style, fireball jutsu. Naruto saw it, and he was thinking, wait a minute, that's a powerful jutsu. I read about it in the library. It said it costs a lot of chakra. I'm going to have to try it out. As basically it stated, it showed the hand signs, on the description of the jutsu. It's Naruto copied them exactly. He then said fire style, fireball jutsu, as he breathed fire. Or, he shot a fireball out of his mouth. Naruto was a little amazed and shocked by what he just did. As after he learned all of those jutsus, he then started combining wind with his fire. As he would basically do the fireball jutsu, and then basically when fireball comes out of his mouth, like 1 second later, he would then make more hand signs and say wind style, wind breath. As he basically make wind to enhance the fire. As this would happen, the fire would be more powerful, and it would, burn a lot of the grass. As he was in the training grounds in this time, he was in the training grounds training, and then he thought of, he basically basically in the library, after he trained, ate, and then, went to the library, he came across a ninjutsu, or, a ninjutsu, and it was like in a library, and basically it would be the fire dragon, fire style fire dragon. He would have mastered that as well, and would enhance it with wind to make it even stronger and bigger dragon, or fire dragon. So now we skip to more years. We basically skip to 3 years. No, skip to 5 years, because Naruto is 7 in this point of time still. So now 5 years pass, and Naruto's already been promoted to Genin, because he got perfect chakra control. So now that he's actually started training and trying, he performed the clone jutsu and passed. So Naruto started already going on missions and stuff like that, and improving his skill. So now Naruto is going to eat somewhere, taking a break after going to the library, and a person stole the scroll. It was a kid from the academy. Naruto, hearing this from the shinobi nearby, used the body flicker and went to search for the kid and found him in the woods. As he would appear, he would tell the kid to give him the skull. As, he's gonna give it to the Kage. And the kid doesn't know what's going on. He says, Mizuki told me to take the skull. As Naruto's a little shocked, but, he's more calm and composed. As he would think, Mizuki, huh? It is possible that somebody ordered this kid to do it. As Naruto would kind of sense chocolate nearby, he would tell the kid to run, as the kid would run, leaving the skull. Mizuki then came and threw a kunai at Naruto. Naruto would dodge it with ease, as he would say to Mizuki, "So it was you all along, Mizuki. Why would you attempt to steal the first Hokage's skull of sealing?" As Mizuki then said, "Naruto, do you know why everybody hates you?" And then Naruto said, "Is it because I'm a Jinchuriki?" As Mizuki's a little shocked. "Wait, you knew this whole time?" As basically Naruto said, "Yeah, I've been at the library a lot, so I know what a Jinchuriki is. I know what a tail beast is. I have a lot of knowledge about that now. So what do you want to do now?" As Mizuki's a little shocked, but he says, "Stop playing around." As he threw the demon wind shuriken. "Just give me the skull now, Naruto," he would say, as Naruto basically used his chakra nature wind to just slow down the demon wind shuriken's momentum and catch it in his hands. As he would then put chakra into his arm and would put chakra into his arms and legs. As he would do this, and he would throw the demon Mizuki with immense speed and momentum, and it would just chop his head off. Then Naruto would say, "Huh, is that it, huh?" As he then see a particular jutsus that he would like to see, or he would like to use, as he would, he would have had a thirst for power, as he would want to make them acknowledge him, and not he wouldn't want to make them acknowledge him, and not let them do this, let them ignore him. So he would basically see the Flying Thunder God Jutsu, known as the Flying Raijin, and he would see the Rasengan. At this point, Naruto already learned the Rasengan. And he would see the Shadow Clone Jutsu. And basically, Naruto was thinking, the Flying Thunder God. Why do I feel like I really want to learn this jutsu? And I feel immense familiarity with it. And then Naruto basically he wanted to give the skull to the Hokage as soon as possible. So he just copied the contents of the Flying Raijin and he copied the contents of the Flying Raijin and the Shadow Clone Jutsu and a couple more jutsus that he would like it there, that he likes in there. And then, because he's a prodigy and he's really, really smart and stuff like that, he managed to trim it down to the highlights, or of the jutsu, so it would take a little amount of time. And when he was done, he then put he would put where the paper he copied the content of the jutsus from in somewhere in his pocket or his pouch, as he would then take the skull to the Hokage. Now, a couple of days later, Naruto would basically be trying to learn the flying legend. But like at this time Naruto's already gotten some sort of, grasp of sealing jutsus. He hasn't really paid much mind to it, as he's basically only been used to, regular ninjutsus. It's like chakra nature, chakra natures and stuff like that. He hasn't really paid much mind to it. However, because he knows the flying legend has something to do with seals, he begins to learn more about it, because theoretically, in Naruto's head, he thinks that if he learned more about seals, he'll be more efficient with the flying legend. So he then starts training, and basically he basically reported to the third Hokage's office. Naruto, the third Hokage, he was asked Naruto if, why he killed Mizuki, as he talked to Naruto about. He didn't want to talk to Naruto about it at first, so then he just, wanted to talk about it. So Naruto would say, well, he was getting on my nerves, so I just decided to kill him. As the third Hokage said that there was different ways of resolving it. He could have just been sentenced to jail. Naruto says, someone like that doesn't deserve to live. Twisting the minds of children into doing evil deeds. He didn't deserve to live after that, Naruto said. As basically, Naruto is a little more different. He basically is calm and composed, as in his missions, he would basically kill people and stuff like that, so he's gotten used to it. As the thirst for power kind of twisted and kind of corrupted his mind, as now he just kills people like that. He kills people most of the time in missions and stuff like that, kills other shinobi without really thinking about it. So then the Hokage thinks, I need to talk to him about it soon, but now's not the time. As basically Hiruzen would say, Naruto, I'm gonna grant you the rank of Jonin.